Good afternoon. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. I have some recipes for you today. I truly believe that in the coming days, coming months, perhaps coming years, we are headed for some unprecedented hard times. And I honestly believe that we won't be able to find everything that we're used to finding in our supermarkets, and that we will have to learn to make them ourselves or do without. So these recipes are ways that you can find to keep up with your present day products, I guess you say, that you can find in the grocery store. And these recipes will give you some hope that you can use other ingredients that you are familiar with, but that you don't know will make a different product. Well, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. Some of you have seen these recipes before, and if you have, please just skip over them and we'll catch you on the other side. But I have a lot of new subscribers in the past couple of weeks, and I firmly believe that the more recipes that we find like this will help us to overcome the hard times that are coming. Okay, so let's get started with the recipes. Homemade cream cheese. Yes, you can make it a different way with milk and so forth, but this is the easiest way. Strain 1 large carton of plain yogurt in the refrigerator overnight. This will separate the yogurt cheese or cream cheese and the whey. Use the resulting cheese in the same way that you use cream cheese. Now remember, you can make your own yogurt, and if you can't buy it, if you make your own and have it plain, then you can still make yogurt cheese. Okay? Do not throw away the whey. Use it to add extra nutrition to your food. Add it to your bread recipes, and etc. Homemade bologna. 3 pounds of ground beef, 2 pounds of ground pork, 1 cup of dry milk, 12 ice cubes crushed, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 2.5 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of pepper, 1 and 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 and 1.5 teaspoons of cardamom, 1.5 teaspoons of coriander, 1 teaspoon of sage, 3/4 teaspoons of mace, 3/4 teaspoons of allspice. By the way, with some of these spices that you won't use very often, instead of buying the big containers, buy the smallest container you can find. That way it won't go stale on you, and you won't waste your money. Preheat your oven to 275 degrees. Mix the meat together in the stand mixer with the dough hook. Add your dry milk and crushed ice cubes. Continue to mix. Add your spices and continue to mix. Form the meat into loaf pans. Bake for 3 hours, or until the temperature is internal temperature is 155 to 160 degrees. For all meat, that's what your internal temperature should be when it's finished cooking, between 155 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Golden tea. This is for those of you who may have some inflammatory problems, such as myself. I suffer from fibromyalgia. I also have rheumatoid arthritis. So I get a double whammy, okay? 1/2 cup of water, 1/4 cup of turmeric. Place the ingredients in a small saucepan and cook for 7 to 10 minutes until it begins to thicken. Place in a small jar and refrigerate up to 2 weeks. To use, place 1 teaspoon of paste in boiling water. Dissolve and drink. The amount of paste you use depends on the flavor desired. Begin with 1 teaspoon and work up to 1 tablespoon of paste for your desired flavor. Golden tea. This is probably my favorite spice rub. I've used it for years. It's a copycat recipe of the Neely dry barbecue rub. 1/2 cup of paprika, 3/4 cups of sugar, either white or brown. I usually use brown. 3 3/4 tablespoons of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, which is optional, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, optional. But I do use garlic powder and the black pepper. Mix all ingredients in the bowl and combine thoroughly. Store in an airtight container. To use, rub the mix onto meat before roasting. And I love this rub on all types of meat. And I have used it on all types of meat. Onion soup mix. 3 tablespoons of dried minced onions. 2 tablespoons of beef bouillon powder. You can substitute 3 to 4 crushed bouillon cubes. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. 1 teaspoon of finely ground sea salt. Do not use the salt if you're using bouillon cubes. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Blend together all ingredients thoroughly. Store in an airtight container. Make sure you leave enough head space so that you can shake the jar to make sure that the ingredients are well mixed before using. To use, for flavoring, start with 1 teaspoon and work up to your desired flavors, up to 1 tablespoon. To make the dip, 1/2 cup of meal, 1/4 cup of sour cream, or use Greek yogurt or regular plain yogurt. Add 1 teaspoon of mix to the meal and sour cream. Work up to 1 tablespoon for desired flavor. Chill to allow the ingredients to blend. Okay? Ranch dressing mix. 2 tablespoons of dried parsley, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of dried dill, 1 teaspoon of dried chives, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of minced onions, which is optional. Mix all ingredients thoroughly. Store in an airtight container. Shake your container well to mix the ingredients before serving. To use, dressing. 1/2 cup meal, 1/4 cup of yogurt, 1 teaspoon of dressing mix. Begin with 1 teaspoon and adjust the seasoning to get the flavor desired. So I often add the mix to chicken or beef when cooking, and it gives the food an additional layer of flavor. And for our last one for today, taco seasoning mix. 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of ground cumin, 1 tablespoon of ground coriander, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of paprika, either smoked or sweet. I use smoked. 1/4 teaspoon cayenne pepper. The amount of cayenne pepper depends on the amount of heat desired. Mix all ingredients thoroughly. Store in an airtight container. To use, begin with 1 teaspoon and work up to 1 tablespoon to reach desired flavor. I usually use 1 tablespoon to 1 pound of meat. That's it for today. We'll see you later. God bless.